Hey there, fish amigos. Tim with rockbeachaquatics.com. So today I'm going to show you how to properly do a water change on your aquarium. We're actually going to do it in one of our sales tanks here on the floor. This is a 20-gallon standard height. This is not the 20-gallon long. We're going to use a siphon. This is one that I've used literally for years, but we actually sell these. This is a Marina product. This is going to, what I like to call hydroclean or siphon out the gravel. So this is for a gravel only aquarium. We're going to show you in another video how to clean a sand substrate aquarium. So again, this is gravel. We're going to use this, and we're going to use a bucket. Basically the same type of system you can use, or the same type of way you can use with a Python or some other hose system that attaches directly to a sink. This way I'm just going to kind of show you how most people with this size tank will actually use. We're not going to be using the actual bucket. We have, when we do this, which we do once a week here in the store, we use a large garbage pail that's on wheels that we wheel around, so we're not emptying out the buckets every 4 seconds. So, and then we have a pump system that pumps it into our sink. Our tanks do have the auto water change with the overflow, so that makes a big difference as far as, you know, the daily water changes. But this is going to be a main one, which we're going to show you here in a second, working on the actual gravel substrate. So we're going to flip you around. Give me a second. All right, so we're going to show you kind of how we're going to do this here. Again, we're going into a large garbage pail that we do it into. So again, here is the system. It's the hydro cleaner, very basic. The hose we're putting into it. I like to work left to right. So basically you want to get this completely submerged. These are nice. They have some that have a squeezy pump. This you just shake, and then as you can see, the water starts to flow. And then what I'm doing is, you can kind of see it right there. We're sucking up the detritus, all the leftover poop that the bacteria have broken down. This is some food that gets into there. And I like to go right to left for whatever reason. I think because I'm left-handed. I don't know, I've always done it that way. So basically we're just kind of like wiggling it into the substrate, and we're pulling up a lot of that nasty stuff that's just been sitting in there. So you can kind of see, now I am keeping the hose, I can control it. Basically, if you can see here, I squeeze with my hand, that'll stop the flow, and then I let it go up. And this is the basic way to hydro clean your gravel. Now I'm also, it's doing one of two things. I am doing a water change, so we're pulling out the water, as well as getting that detritus out of the tank. So now I'm going to move this piece here. It's just a larger piece. Little electric blue Johanny hiding down there. And now I'm going to do, because I'm kind of taking my time here, you know, you could do half to a third of your aquarium. Now if you do this, some people, like, you know, you can do this once a week. You do one half, another week you do the other half. I'm going to kind of just zip through here. And just pull this out. But see, it's removing all that stuff. So what happens, that actually increases your ammonia level. So getting that out is very, very important. Now, your aquarium evaporates. Whether you have a hood on it or not, if you have a hood on it, it's going to slow down the evaporation. If you have, you know, if you're missing a couple inches of water, then, hang on, I'll zoom this in here a little bit more so you guys can kind of see. If you're missing a couple inches of water and you just every week keep dumping that water in, that's not doing a water change. You know, think of it this way, the importance of a water change. It's like, basically you got this big old glass box, and imagine if you had it, and you ate in this big old glass box, and you just spilled your food all over the floor, and then you pooped and peed I know it sounds kind of nasty, but in this glass box where you live, and you were never pulling any of it out, what would happen? It would create a really, really nasty mess. So I'm going to kind of pull it this way here, kind of show some more. I am going to move this thing over. I'm squeezing the tube right now, and that's preventing the water from shooting out. So now we're going to release it again, and then we're just doing it. But all I'm doing is I'm just lifting, just stabbing it in there and lifting. No, very important. I get this question all the time. You want to leave the fish in the aquarium. They're fine. These guys can literally get up to like a couple inches of water. Now we're probably taking about half of the aquarium water out. I don't have like plants or anything in here. If you have plants, you got to work around them. But all I'm doing is just kind of stabbing the water. So I'm going to move our sponge filter, get that out of the way. There's a nice little pleco down there. And again, same thing. So we'll actually end up doing about half of the aquarium. Now there's still going to be some stuff floating around, and that's okay. I mean, the fish might even, you know, they sometimes think it's food, so you'll see them go after it, but it's going to get sucked up back into the filter, and once we do the water, you know, we fill up the tank. Now, we only filter our tanks here in the store, the smaller ones, with sponge filters. So yeah, we only filter these with sponge filters. Some of the bigger tanks, we do have some other filters, but each tank is drilled. It does have the water change, so the overflows, and that makes a big difference. It's getting the daily water changes. So we're really right about half of the tank has been taken out. I'm taking my time and talking and stuff like that. I probably would have done a little bit less. I'm just getting it really cleaned up. So, you know, there's still going to be a bit in here. This one's probably not been done in like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks. We try to get to them every week here in the store, but because we do have the water change, it makes it a little different. But, so yeah, so there, and I'm going to just let this kind of go up and then release it. And you see I pulled it up, and then the water, the rest went in there. So that's about half the tank. All right, so we have about half of the water out. I'm going to move the sponge filter kind of back to where we want it. So it's going to kind of go over there. I'm going to move this piece here as well. You know, gives some of the African cichlids a place to hide. So what you're going to do normally is you're going to fill up your buckets right after this is gone. You're going to fill up your bucket with water. You're going to get it roughly around the same temperature as the tank. It doesn't have to be 100%. It's not going to be enough difference where it's going to shock the fish. But you're going to fill that up. You're going to add your chlorine neutralizer in there. If you have a Python system that pumps directly into the tank, which we actually, I'm going to show you here in a second. We have, let's see, I've got you know, a filtration system that hooks up that we use to actually go to fill up our tanks when we're doing a massive change. So that's a system I have that we made. I'm going to turn on the water. So there's a Python, so see, that goes there. I'm just going to turn on our switch to our water. This water is 75 degrees, plus or minus 2 degrees. I use a mixing valve. So right now I'm just filling up the tank, right? So kind of see how I'm doing it. Now, this is filtered water that removes all the chlorine and the chloramines. Makes a big difference. What you're going to do in your home aquarium, if you're not running something like this, is you're just going to add some Prime, or we carry Fluval Aqua Plus, which I love, the Prime, any type of water conditioner. So yeah, just fixing the gravel. I know you're seeing side shots and I'm talking, but... And that's it. So now you would use your Python, fill up the tank, or take your bucket and fill that up, and that's it. All right, well, basically that's it. That's your basic way on how to do a water change. I like to call hydrocleaning the substrate, getting that nice and clean. Very, very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Do this once a week. You want to get that water and the other detritus out of the aquarium, fresh water in. If there's nothing, the most important thing in actually having an aquarium is doing water changes. You have to do water changes. So number 1, water changes. Number 2, water changes. Number 3, water changes. 3 most important things in the aquarium. So any questions you have, you can always email us, leave in the comments below. We're real excited to just keep doing a series of videos just talking about the basics of aquarium cleaning and stuff like that, setup. So, okay, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. And we're always open at rockbeachaquatics.com. All right, thanks. Bye.